Have you ever wondered what would happen if the African continent broke apart? Now that's a thought to ponder on, isn't it? Let's delve into this intriguing question. You see, our planet Earth is not as static as it seems. It's a living, breathing entity, constantly changing and reshaping itself. This is largely due to a phenomenon called continental drift, a glacially slow process where the continents, floating on tectonic plates, drift around the globe. Evidence for this can be seen in the jigsaw-like fit of South America and Africa's coastlines. Once upon a time, these continents were part of a supercontinent known as Pangaea. Over millions of years, they drifted apart to form the world as we know it today. Now let's add a twist to this tale. Imagine if this process continued and Africa, the cradle of humankind, split apart. What would our world look like then? To understand this scenario, we must first delve into the geological processes at work beneath the Earth's crust. The Earth's outer shell, known as the lithosphere, is not one solid piece. Instead, it's like a jigsaw puzzle of large, rigid pieces called tectonic plates. These plates, constantly moving albeit at a snail's pace, are the architects of Earth's ever-changing face. One such plate is the African plate. Spanning the entire African continent and a significant portion of the Atlantic Ocean, it's a behemoth in the world of geology. Now you might be wondering what powers these colossal plates. Well, let's dive deeper. Beneath the lithosphere is the asthenosphere, a semi-fluid layer of molten rock or magma. The heat from the Earth's core causes this magma to convect, creating a conveyor belt-like motion. As the magma rises and cools near the lithosphere, it spreads out, pushing the tectonic plates above. This process, known as plate tectonics, is the driving force behind the movement of continents. But where does new crust come into play? At the heart of the ocean, there are mid-ocean ridges. Here, magma from the asthenosphere rises to fill the gap between diverging plates, solidifying to form new crust. This constant creation and destruction of crust is a fundamental part of Earth's cycle. Bringing it back to Africa, a prime example of a divergent boundary where two plates are moving apart, is the East African Rift Valley. This geological wonder is essentially a crack in the Earth's surface, caused by the Arabian plate moving away from the African plate. Over millions of years, the continued divergence could lead to the birth of a new ocean, splitting the African continent in two. So, while it may seem like a far-fetched scenario, the forces beneath our feet are already at work. These forces, powered by the Earth's internal heat and the ceaseless movement of magma, are the unsung heroes of our planet's story. They are the sculptors of our landscapes, the creators of our oceans and continents. And yes, these forces are slowly but surely reshaping the African continent. Let's envisage a future where these geological processes have led to the splitting of the African continent, a world where the familiar silhouette of Africa is forever changed. The seismic forces beneath the surface have worked their relentless magic, and a new sea channel has emerged, slicing the continent into two distinct landmasses. Just imagine the profound changes this would bring. The creation of new sea channels could dramatically alter the climate. The warm tropical currents of the Atlantic and Indian Oceans could mingle in ways we've never seen before, potentially creating new weather patterns and shifting the rainfall distribution across the continent. This could turn arid regions into lush green landscapes or, conversely, transform verdant rainforests into parched wastelands. The wildlife, that vibrant tapestry of life that makes Africa so unique, would also face significant changes. Animals would have to adapt to new habitats, and we might see the evolution of entirely new species. The famous wildebeest migration in East Africa, for instance, might take on a completely new route or cease to exist altogether. And then there's the matter of human civilization. We humans are a resilient lot. We've adapted to changing circumstances throughout history, and this would be no different. Coastal cities might become important port towns, benefiting from increased maritime trade. Inland regions might see an influx of people displaced by the changes, leading to new cultural blends and social dynamics. Infrastructure would have to be rebuilt, economies restructured, and new political landscapes formed. While these changes could bring about challenges, they could also bring opportunities. New resources could be discovered, new industries could emerge, and new forms of cooperation between nations could be forged. The splitting of the continent might force us to rethink our relationship with the environment, leading to more sustainable ways of living. As staggering as it sounds, this is a possible future for the African continent. A future shaped by the relentless forces beneath the Earth's crust. and our ability to adapt and thrive amidst change. Now that we've unraveled the science behind this fascinating scenario, let's summarize what we've learned. From the outset, we delved into the concept of plate tectonics, the invisible yet potent force that ceaselessly shapes and reshapes our continents. We've explored how these colossal tectonic plates, floating on a sea of molten rock, drift and jostle against each other. And we've seen how in Africa, this process might lead to the continent splitting apart, a process already in motion in the Great Rift Valley. We've discussed how this split wouldn't be an overnight event, but a gradual million-year process. We've imagined the emergence of a new ocean, cutting through the heart of Africa, reshaping the continent's geography and altering its climate. We've considered how this could create new ecosystems, new landscapes, and potentially new species. But the implications of such a monumental change go beyond mere geography. The social and political consequences could be equally as profound. Existing nations could be divided or even submerged. New countries could arise from the ocean depths. Trade routes could be disrupted, economies transformed, and societies forever changed. We've also touched on the human dimension of this scenario. How would communities adapt to these changes? How would our maps and our understanding of the world need to evolve? And perhaps most importantly, how would this remind us of our shared responsibility to our planet and to each other? While contemplating these questions, we've seen that the future is not set in stone. The world is in constant flux, and we, as inhabitants, must be ready to adapt and evolve. In the end, the splitting of Africa may seem like a far-off, almost fantastical possibility. But it's not beyond the realm of reality. It's a testament to the immense power and unpredictability of our planet. While this scenario might seem far-fetched, it's a stark reminder of the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our planet. The world we know today is not the world of yesterday, and it certainly won't be the world of tomorrow.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. That's all for Nifty Narration.